Okay. Hey, good. Let me know if you hear me now. Let me know. Let me know if you guys hear me. Sound check. Sound check. Let's give it a second. I think I updated it. Let me know if you hear me or not, guys. Okay, you guys can hear me. All right. Back at it. All right. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a giveaway. This giveaway is strictly for a milestone I'm trying to hit on YouTube, which is watch hours. And we're going to be giving away this card. This is the Obi-Wan that you could only get from sector qualifiers. All you have to do to win it is honestly be subscribed. Once I hit that hours milestone, I'm going to do a live stream and I'm going to get, we're going to randomly pick a subscriber. And that's whoever lands on that wheel will win this card and I'll ship them out to them. This is actually a very cool card to have since the next set is about to come out in a few weeks. This is going to be Obi-Wan. I guarantee you if you're going to be playing Hero Blue, you have this card in that deck. So you either can bling out your deck with a cool looking Obi-Wan, or maybe you can save it. Maybe you can get it, I don't know, slabbed. Whatever, it's totally up to you. But this is what's going to be happening, all right? So make sure that you guys are subscribed. If you know anyone, send them my way and let them know. If you have a friend that plays Star Wars Unlimited a little bit, hey, send them my way, get them subscribing, and then just have them watch my videos. We'll get that goal real quickly, and maybe your friend might win the card, and he might give it to you. Who knows? It's up to you. But let's get started. So today, like I said, we already ranked all of the legendaries. We ranked the rares, and now I'm going to actually rank the leaders. Now with the leaders, we're only going to be ranking based on actually how they're going to perform in Premier Play. I'm not talking about draft or sealed or pre-release. I'm just talking about strictly for Premier. So this is not Twin Suns, Premier, guys. Okay, and we have 4 rankings right now. So if you watch my previous videos, you know them. I'm keeping the same. The Master Jedi is the S tier. That means we're going to see this probably leader in the meta. Then we have the Jedi Knight tier. The Jedi Knight tier is like, I don't think it's going to be in the meta defining, meaning we're not going to see this at the galactic qualifiers, PQs. That the Jedi Knight tier is more like you probably can win at a store showdown. You could take it to your locals. Padawan level is going to be like, yo, I'm not entirely sure if even maybe has a chance to take it on a local and have a decent time. And then lastly, Scruffy-Looking Nerf herder. I mean, it's trash, man. Don't even suit it up. Just throw it away. Don't even worry about it. That leader sucks. It's not going to work this set, right? So that is the rankings. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and let's start looking at that. So I am going to make my other screen real big for a moment so that we can make sure everyone sees everything. All right, let's switch to that. And let me make sure my sound is working real quickly on this screen. Okay, that should work. Cool. All right, looks good here. All right, so what we have, we're going to start off. Unfortunately, the tier maker is so hard to read the cards. Somehow I'm going to have another screen up here where I'll actually look at the cards. So we're going to be looking at from the leader perspective, and then we'll be looking at from the deployed leader as well. So we'll start off with the first one. We have Kylo. Let's boost this up. All right. We got Kylo. He is obviously a vigilance villainy leader. On his leader side, it says action, discard a card from your hand. If you discarded an upgrade this way, draw a card. He deploys at 7 resources, and he is a rare. On his leader side, it says Kylo, when deployed, he has Sentinel. He's a 5/5. Play any number of upgrades from your discard pile onto this unit, one at a time. So I've actually seen some of this card in action already, and I think you have to really run a control type deck, okay? And I know some people don't like control, they hate it, but you gotta really, if you think about how the deck works, you gotta get Kylo to like maybe 14, maybe I'm gonna say at least 12 resources, because you wanna get the, you wanna get a specific card in the graveyard so that you can pay for it, and that's Shadowed Intentions. It basically gives Kylo Ren the same ability that Lurking TIE Phantom gives it. It can only die in combat damage. And that card is yellow, so you have to pay out of aspect for it, so that's going to cost you 5. And then you want to at least attach a couple of lightsabers on him. And then sometimes if you have enough resource craving. But my issue with the deck is I've played it a little bit, and if someone is really going aggro, you're going to lose. You're not going to get to that point where you can actually utilize that effect. So it really, really sucks against aggro decks, especially like Vader Swarm deck that just goes so wide. It really struggles against it. Sabine CL is another one. And I think Sabine CL is still going to be a meta contender for this next set. So because of that, I'm going to have to put this Kylo Ren in the Jedi Knight tier. I don't think it's a Master Jedi, because I don't think it's going to be like, holy crap, this is like, we're going to see it all over the Galactic Championship as like the top, or in PQs. I think you can win a smaller PQ. I think you can win a showdown with Kylo. Definitely locals, but I don't think you can win a large event like a very large sector qualifier, regional, or even Galactics. I just can't see him yet, right? The keyword is yet, yo. All right, now we're going to move on to the next one. We got Mother Talzin. Mother Talzin, let's go ahead and flip her on her leader side. She's, again, we're doing the Vigilance Villainy first. She is on action on her leader side, says use the Force, give a unit -1/-1 for the face. She deploys at 5 resources, which is really good. And she's a 3/7. It says on attack, you may give a unit -1/-1 for this phase. For Mother Talzin, her stats are actually pretty decent. For 5 at 5, you can bring her around. She's a 3/7. I really like that. One thing I like about Mother Talzin is really her ability. That -1/-1 counter, the way I see it, it's more like a removal effect. Okay. So when you think about it like that, if you have anything on your opponent's board has 1 health left, you can trigger the Mother Talzin leader or on attack side to kill it. And because of that, I think it's very powerful. She's very decent. Again, 5 resources is a great time to deploy leader, since the game is so focused around the leader. Bringing out a leader at 5 resources is really good. I think Mother Talzin is actually very good. And I'm going to put Mother Talzin in the Master Jedi tier. I believe we're going to see Mother Talzin for sure in the meta. Like, there is no question about it. Okay. Yeah, that is good. Now, guys, if you guys disagree with me, let me know. Because I just want to know, make sure we're all on the same page. Because she's I think going to be one of the leaders in this set. I think she's probably going to be one of the main ones that we're going to see potential at the top. But we're moving on to the next one. All right, we got a lot of leaders to go through. Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano on the leader side, she is a Vigilance Heroism leader. It says action, use a Force, give a friendly unit Sentinel for this phase. Her epic action, she deploys at 6 resources. And then she is a 6-cost leader on the leader side. She's a 5/6. And she says, on attack, you may give a friendly unit Sentinel for this phase. All right, y'all. I'm not going to lie. I don't think she's that good. We already seen cards that give people Sentinel. Remember Grievous? Who played Grievous? Did Grievous ever make a top cut in a large event like a PQ, sector, or regional? I don't think it's good. Now, at the same time, I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's good. Could you take Ahsoka to a local and potentially win with her? Sure, I think so. She might be better for maybe like draft or maybe even sealed or pre-release. But since we're talking about strictly premiere play, I don't think she's going to be that good. So I'm going to drop her. I'm going to put her in the Padawan tier as of right now. She could go down, or she's not going up. I can tell you that much. She could either go down that Padawan path, or we're gonna drop her to Scruffy-Looking Nerf herder. I just don't think the ability for Premier to give something Sentinel is that great. It's not great. I'm sorry. All right, so next up, let's look at we got Kanan Jarrus. So Kanan Jarrus is a vigilance heroism leader. He has action, spend one resource and exhaust, give a shield token to a creature or specter unit. If his epic action is if you control 6 or more resources, you can deploy him. And on his deploy side, he's a 3/6 with Force, Jedi, Rebel, and Spectre traits. He's shielded, and it says while you control another creature on a Spectre while you control another creature or Spectre unit, this unit gets +2/+2. So if you think about the deploy side, he's essentially going to be a 5/7. So a 5/7 is pretty decent stats, but for 6 resources, it's a conditional one. So it's like maybe it's good, but maybe it's bad. But I don't like conditional. So like it feels like you're gonna have to create Kanan using a creature deck, right? We understand that this set's gonna introduce a lot of creatures, so it could make him good. Maybe creatures and specters. I think Kanan is pretty decent because if you go full specter and creature, when you deploy him, he's gonna always be buffed. But I don't know enough about. I haven't played enough with Kanan to actually fully understand. Is there a viable deck that you can build in with some creatures? Because some of the creatures are pretty expensive. The new creature Doom, the wolf, that's he's 4, but since he's double vigilance, is really 6. It's hard to put him in here. So for me right now, I think he's good because he's very solidly statted when you have creatures or specters. So I'm going to put him at this Jedi Knight tier, but I do have him slightly almost at the Padawan tier. I might drop him down. We'll see how the rest of the card sorting goes here. But right now, to recap, we have Mother Talzin at the top. There's no one there in the top with her. And again, guys, this is all in regards to Premier play. Okay, so we're going to move on. Next up we have is Morgan Elsbeth. Now, Morgan Elsbeth is a command villainy unit. On her leader side, says action, choose a friendly unit at attack this phase. Play a unit from your hand that shares a keyword with the chosen unit. It costs 1 less. Her epic action, she deploys at 5 resources. She's a 3/6 with traits Force, Imperial Knight. This is on attack. If the next unit you play this phase costs 1 less if it shares a keyword with a friendly unit. So when I originally saw this card spoiled, I thought it was good, guys. I really did. But then I realized, wait a minute. I got keyword confused with trait because I was thinking now there are 2 of them, right? If it shares the same trait, you can play it for, now there's 2 of them for 3 resources and it reduces the cost by 5. So I was like, wow, trait, that's good. Almost everything's going to have the same trait if you build a deck with a full trait. But I was wrong. It actually was keyword. So now that really limits your potential with Morgan Elsbeth. Sure, you can build a lot of cards. Maybe you want to build a deck that has the hidden keyword, but there's not that much hidden keyword in the new set, especially in the old set, so you don't really get that value. So there's not much ambush. I don't think you would want a full ambush deck, right? Sure, you may use a combination of maybe ambush and sentinel, but I don't think it's as good as I originally thought before. Can Morgan Elsbeth win a local? Sure. Now, for that Jedi Knight tiers, can it potentially win a showdown? I think so. Can it win a smaller PQ? I don't think so. And I think that's where I draw the line. Because of that, I can't put her any above the Jedi Knight tier. But I don't even think... I think Kanan's better than her. So I'm going to put her here. Right ahead of Ahsoka. Because I do think she's better than Ahsoka. Other than that, we might slide her down. We might slide her up. We'll see how it looks, right? So let's keep on going to make sure we can get that big picture going. All right. Next up, we have Supreme Leader Snoke. He is a command villainy unit. His leader side says action, exhaust, spend 1 resource, give an experience token to a unit with the most power among villainy units. His epic action at 6 resource he could deploy. He's a 4/7, and his traits are Force, First Order, Official, and says on attack, give an experience token to the unit with the most power among friendly units. Now, Supreme Leader Snoke is unique to me because it's kind of scary. You want to buff your characters, right? Because it makes them, you want to buff certain characters. You don't always want to buff your strongest one because, right? Let's say you're at 4 power with one unit, you put that 5 power, you're like, yeah, now I'm going to do some damage. And then boom, your opponent goes, oh yeah, fell the dragon. Well, your most powerful unit's dead. Same thing with anything, right? It's kind of scary that you have to only buff the most powerful unit, especially if it's the only unit on the board. Then obviously he's going to get the buff and you're going to attack with it. I do think that's a limitation, though. Now, if it allowed you to pick the unit that you can buff, then I would think that's completely different. That to me is a huge difference. But because you're limited to the strongest unit, now be fair, if you have 2 units with the same power, you get to pick where you go. But once you put that token, experience token on one unit, and you use the ability and deploy and say attack, and you get buff something else, it's only going to buff one unit at that point. I find it niche. I have played a little bit against Snoke. I personally haven't played it. I know it does struggle with certain decks like Kira Data Vault. Just because the soft control package is so much, it just gets rid of all the units. It slows you down, right? Because you got to do that extra action. And that slowdown is sometimes not ideal. There's certain leaders that help you with that slowdown. So like I think Rey's one of those leaders, the Rey Data Vault. I think that's okay. But Snoke, I don't think I'm not gonna put him. I think he's better than Ahsoka, and I think he's better than Morgan. I'm gonna put him at this Padawan tier. I think you can take him to a locals and you can win. Can you potentially win a showdown? Maybe. Can you win a small PQ? I don't think so. Not with Snoke, especially if we look at the current leaders that are in the meta right now from set 4, jump to light speed. I made a video earlier this week that dropped on Monday that I think a lot of those leaders are still very powerful in this coming meta. I think Data Vault, Kira Data Vault is going to still be very, very good. I think Quinlan Tarkentown is still going to be very good. Sabine, I think, is still going to be a very solid deck. I mean, and I just can't see how having Snoke is going to help you beat those decks. I just can't see that. All right, let's move on. Next up we have is Avar Chris. She's big. She is a command heroism. Her action says the force is with you. And it says epic action at 9 resources, you deploy her. When you deploy her, she is a 4/10. Her traits are Force, Jedi, and Republic. And it says while the force is with you, this unit gets +4 attack and gains overwhelm. So when you have the force, she's gonna smack for 8/10. That's a lot of damage. But I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. There's not many leaders that are very good past 7 resources. And think about Palpatine. Sure, he's won some stuff, but he was never in the meta. He was always like outside the meta, right? Could he win? Could he do well in a PQ? Yes, he could potentially win one. But can he win a sector qualifier or regional or galactic championship? No, I don't think Palpatine was there. That's the same thing I see with Avar Chris. I think she's super powerful, but I don't think she's that powerful in terms of a competitive premier play. And because of that, I can't even put her at this Jedi Knight tier. She's too expensive. I will put her ahead of Ahsoka because I just think Ahsoka is that bad. Unfortunately, they did Ahsoka wrong. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. And I think Morgan Elsbeth, if I was gonna choose green, I'll probably play Morgan Elsbeth or Snoke ahead of her. I don't think she's good. So we're gonna put her here. I might even drop her down. We'll see. Next up, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan is a command heroism leader. On his leader side, it says action, use the force, give an experience token to a unit without an experience token on it. He deploys at 5 resources, and he's a 3/6 with traits are Force, Jedi, and Republic. And he says on attack, it says you may give an experience token to another unit without another token on it. All right, so the thing, you know how I talked about Snoke? You could only give it to the most powerful one. Obi-Wan is a lot better because you get to choose which unit you want to put it on, right? Sure, there's the limitation that you could only put it on a unit that doesn't have an experienced token, but here's the power. You get to choose, right? And that's why I think Obi-Wan is such a better ability compared to Snoke. Snoke, I get it. Maybe villainy, you want to make it more powerful because that's the dark side. It's all about power, and then the light side is very thematic about want to share it and make it fair, right? That's very Jedi themes. So I think that's cool, and I think it gives it a lot of power. And because of that, Obi is nice rush deck. Okay, yeah, I think he'll be pretty good. I think Obi-Wan is a solid leader. Can Obi-Wan win you a locals? For sure. Can Obi-Wan win you a showdown? Yes, I think so. Can Obi-Wan, I think, potentially win a PQ? Yes, I think he can. So that's already putting him in that Jedi Knight steer status. Can it win you a large PQ? I think so as well. So I think we're gonna see Obi-Wan for sure in the meta. I think he's with Mother Talzin and Obi. I think these two so far are the best leaders in this new set. They're very, very good. All right, we're gonna move on. All right, so we're going into the aggression side. So on the aggression side, we're going to start off with Darth Maul. Darth Maul is an aggression villainy unit. His action says use the Force, deal 1 damage to a unit, and then 1 damage to a different unit. His epic action is that 6 resources, you get to deploy him. He is a 5/6 with traits are 4th and 5th, and then on attack, same thing. You get to do 1 damage to a unit and a damage to another one. Darth Maul, I actually think Darth Maul is actually not too bad of a leader. The only problem with him is for 6 resources, he only has 6 health. 6 health is kind of dangerous for that type of leader because at that point when you can deploy him, you can easily get wrecked, right? You need that 1 extra life to probably survive like a Wrecker ECL turn or Poe ECL turn. Hell, the new Vader, you're just gonna die. That's how it is. Like that new Vader kills everybody. It doesn't matter. He's gonna put a shield on you, and if you ambushed him out, you're dead. Your leader's dead. Whatever you have is dead. So I'm gonna exclude that part. But I think I haven't had a chance to play a deck with Darth Maul yet. And we know he's one of the leaders for the starter sets or the spotlight decks. I think that's what they call them now. So I like his ability. His stats are slightly undercosted. And because of that, because of his price point at 6 resources, I think he's going to be can you build a deck around him and take him to a locals? I think so. Can you win a showdown with him? That's where I'm not sure. I think that 6 health really does hurt him. Because like Quinlan, I think is a 3/7 and he's 5. Like, sure, you get 2 more attack, but you get less defense. I'd rather have a little bit more defense for my 6 cost heroes personally. I could equip a lightsaber to make them stronger, right? So I'm gonna put Maul right above everyone else on the Padawan level. I think you can build a deck around him, take it to a local store, and beat it. Maybe even win a showdown. But outside of that, I don't see you can win any more than that. I just can't see it, y'all. All right, next up we have Third Sister. Third Sister is an aggression villainy leader. On her leader side says action, play a unit from your hand. It gains hidden for this phase. She deploys at 5 resources. At 5, she is a 5/4. She has the hidden keyword, and on attack, the next unit you play this phase gains hidden. Now, what I want to say this here, Third Sister, when you get to deploy her at 5 resources, 4 health is really not good. Sure, when you deploy her, she has hidden, so she can't get attacked. But guess what? Open fire kills her. Aggression kills her. Um, like there's a lot of two daring raids will kill her. Like there's a lot of cards out here that can kill her, especially at the 5 resource mark. You deploy her, yeah, I'm cool, and your opponent plays overwhelming barrage, and there goes your leader because she only has 4 health. Like you can even play overwhelming barrage on a unit that has only 2 damage because it will kill her, right? That to me is pretty bad. Like for 5 resources, like I don't even the ability of playing something as hidden and she has the keyword hidden, I don't think is good at all. And I'm gonna have to put Third Sister as the first leader in the Scruffy-Looking Nerf herder category. That 4 resource for at the 5 cost is too much of a liability. The game is so centered around the heroes that you can immediately deploy her and she's dead. That was different if she's like Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren, you deploy at 4 resources, then I think it's okay. But because of her, that you at 5 resources you just can't do it. It's terrible stats, and you're just not gonna do it. Okay, let's move on. All right, next up we have Kit Fisto. Kit Fisto is an aggression heroism leader. On his leader side, says action, spend 1 resource. If you have tacked with a Jedi this phase, deal 2 damage to a unit. If his epic action, you can deploy him at 5 resources. He is a 1/6. Traits are Force, Jedi, Republic. He has Saboteur, and it says this unit gets +1 attack for each other friendly Jedi unit. Now, Kit Fisto, he has okay defense for 5 resources, but he's weak in terms of his power. Now, you really have to build Kit Fisto around Jedi, right? Because that's how you make him stronger. And are there a lot of Jedis in this set? Yes, there is. But there's also a card, Execute Order 66, that can help kill all those Jedis as well. So that gives it a liability. I know Prime from our on the Discord really likes Kit Fisto, and I get it. I think he's solid. His ability on the leader side to do the 2 damage is very, very good. It's almost a pseudo board, call it a removal. Not quite. Think Daring Raid. 2 damage to potentially kill something. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Same thing on the leader side when he's deployed. Now, I do think I have played against some Kit Fisto decks that happen to best me. And if you play them right, they'll do well. So again, with Kit Fisto, can you take him to a locals and win? Sure, for sure. Can you win a showdown with him? Okay, I think so. That's getting you closer to that Jedi Knight tier, right? Can you win a PQ? If it's a small PQ, I think so. But if you're talking about like a very large PQ, like 100+ people, that's where I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be that good. Unfortunately, and I don't think he can win a sector qualifier, regional. I don't think his power level is there. With that, I'm going to put him in the Jedi Knight here. I've seen some pretty interesting Kit Fisto decks. I would say I think he's tied with Kanan Jarrus. I'm not sure. It's Turbo Time says, will the new Vader get banned? You know what? The new Vader is very good. The ability, the fact that you can get ambush out him and he can take out anything, that's going to be problematic. But the real question is, people are already talking about, is Force Throw going to get banned? Which one do you think is going to be more, I guess, problematic? The Vader who only fits in villainy, blue villainy, or the Force Throw that, because even the fact that it costs 1, you can put it out of aspect and pay 3, and if you have a large unit, you can auto kill almost anything. So I don't think new Vader will get banned because, and let me tell y'all why. Because there's a direct counter to new Vader, and he's the new Qui-Gon unit. He literally counters Vader. And if you're playing a mirror, the Vaders are going to counter each other, right? He's a 5/7, so if you deploy your Vader, I deploy my Vader to kill your Vader, right? I think with the heroism decks, that new Qui-Gon leader is he just counters him completely, and he's gonna get rid of something else on your field that you have to put at the bottom of the deck, right? So I don't think we're gonna see a ban on Vader, but what will happen though is we'll see what happens at the Galactic Championship. If we see in the Galactic Champion like the top 8 decks, every single one is villain blue, and everyone has Vader in it, I think they might say something, right? They might preemptively suspend him, but I don't think they're gonna do it that early though. I think even at the Galactic Championship after we get the results, I still don't think they're gonna do anything. I think they might say we're watching him, but we're not gonna be deleting him or removing him, right? Maybe if we go into the PQ season and he is dominating, then they're going to probably at that point say, okay, we're going to suspend Vader at that point. But I think Hero does have ability to combat to him with against new Qui-Gon unit. If you're running Force Throw, there's ways to combat. The 2-for-1 feels bad. And I don't know if they're even going to errata him. The fact that he can swing into you can give a shield to a leader and then kill something else and kill the leader, I think that's a little too powerful. That's a way too powerful 2-for-1. It should have said like you can give a non-leader unit a shield and kill that, but killing a leader, like, even imagine I did this on Carabas. Someone deployed Avar Chris. I was like, man, that sucks for you. I'm about to ambush you with Vader. I played ambushed him out, killed the leader right when it was deployed. Like, it's kind of powerful. But yeah, let's move on, guys. All right, next up we have Rey. Rey is a 7-cost aggression hero leader. Her action says, if you played a non-force unit card this phase, deal 1 damage to a unit. She deploys at 7 resources, and it says she's a 6/8. She has traits force and resistance. It says, when deployed, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. All right. So if you played a non-unit force card, so that's basically events, that really narrows the ability of when you can use her card. Because besides Force Throw, what other force cards events are we really using? Sure, the new set added some more, but like let's be honest, like, I can't even think of another card besides Force Throw that I would use in red that's in a non-unit force card, which basically means force event, right? There's force upgrade maybe, but when I read that, I think force event. That's what I automatically think in my head. Unfortunately, I think that's not that strong of an ability. And then when you deploy her, you get rid of your hand to get 2 cards. What if you had 5 cards? You don't want to do that. I think Rey is bad, like all around bad leader. I don't think there's anything good about her. I'm gonna put her in Scruffy-Looking Nerf herder. I don't think she's good at all. She's not. I can't say anything that might redeem her, and she's just a bad leader. All right, let's move on. We're going down to the cunning side now. We're looking at Barriss of Free. Barriss of Free is a cunning villainy leader. Her action says use a force, play an event from your hand. It costs 1 less. And epic action, if you control 6 or more resources, you can deploy her. On her leader side, she's a 4/7. Traits are Force, Jedi, Republic. And it says use the force, play an event from your hand. It costs 1 less. Barriss of Free. I think Barriss is an interesting character. For 4/7, for 6 cost leader, I think it's not bad. If you use your force, you reduce the cost of having a unit. So when you use the force, to me, I consider using the force almost like a half a resource. So you're not really gaining that much unless you absolutely needed, you only had 2 resources and you had an event that cost 3, then yeah, that might be good. But in general, I don't think that's very good. I think it's very meh, to be honest. But she's very for her, and then for 6 resources, she's a little statted a little. I don't like her stats of 4-7. I would have liked her to have a little bit more, one more attack, or maybe one more defense, something like that. But I get it. Not everything can be like a 4-7 like Boba at 5 resources. That's why he's been suspended. Barris, I think, is very unique. Now I've seen her showcase. Someone shared it on the Discord today, and it looks dope. But Barris, I think she's also very niche. You can take Barris to a local and win, but I think you can't win outside of that. So I'm gonna put Barris right here. I'm actually gonna drop Ahsoka down. I'm dropping Ahsoka down to Scruffy-Looking Nerf Herder. As I started putting these here, Barris I think might be better than Avar Chris, but that's about it. I'm leaving it like this, because I don't see it. I can't see it her being better than Morgan Elsbeth, which is again not that much better. But yeah, let's move on. Next up, we have the Grand Inquisitor. Grand Inquisitor is a cunning villainy leader. On his leader side, it says action, use the force, attack with a friendly unit. The defender gets -2/0 for this phase. He deploys at 5 resources. He's a 3/5, comes shielded. It says on attack, the defender gets -2/0 for this attack. His traits are Force, Imperial, and Inquisitor. So here again, for 5 resources, he's a 3/5. Sure, he has a shield, but like I would rather have had a little bit beefier stats at 5 resources than having a shield. I would have liked to be a 3/7 than having a shield. A shield is going to protect you for a turn, but not much longer. Now, his abilities allow you to, on attack, reduce the defense, which is not bad, because if you're playing something with Sentinels, that's a good way you can reduce the Sentinel's power so you don't die. But I don't think Grand Inquisitor is that great. His stats are not good. Sure, he has a shield, but I don't think it matters. Can you win with Grand Inquisitors at a local event? I am not sure. I really can't say you could. And because of that, if you can't win a local event with it, I don't even know if you would put it in the Padawan tier. I think he's a bad leader. His stats are the problem. I think he's better than these 3 leaders down here. So we'll put him right at the bottom. I may slide him up to Padawan. I'm not sure, but he's on that borderline. Now the old Grand Inquisitor from set 1, he's way better. I think he's going to be a lot better than this Grand Inquisitor, because you can actually build a deck around the new the old Grand Inquisitor. So if I had an option to pick which Grand Inquisitor, I'll pick set 1 Grand Inquisitor. This one, I just can't see it. All right, let's move on. Next up, we have Cal Kestis. Excuse me. He's a 4-cost cunning heroism leader. It says action, use the force. An opponent chooses a ready unit they control. Exhaust that unit. He deploys at 4, so he's one of the aggro ones, the hero aggro leader here. He's a 3/4. His traits are Force and Fringe. This is on attack. An opponent chooses a ready unit they control. Exhaust that unit. So Cal Cactus is unique to me because that ability is pretty strong, but a 3/4 is pretty weak. I would have liked him if he was more like Sabine, where he's a 2/5. That 4 defense is a real problem with me. Even though you can deploy at 4 resources, there's a lot of things that can take him out. Forlom could take him out. Open fire takes him out. Aggression takes him out. There's a lot of things. So even a 4-cost unit with ambush will take him out. There's too much that can take him out that I don't think he can. Sure, can you spike a local event? I 100% think you can win a local with him. I don't think you can win past the local, especially with a lot of these decks like the Kira Data Vote. She literally, sure, you tap her, okay, she could still overwhelm and barrage and kill you when you deploy. Even if you happen to, after, because typically, let me rephrase that. Kira, when you deploy her, you can play like a resupply, and then you have her out, and then Kira swings into him, kills him. Kira now has 7 damage. Now she's a 7 attack for the next turn, and then she's gonna hit your face for 7. Like, it's not that great. I think you can win a local event with Cal Kestis. I'm gonna go ahead and put him like, I'll put him in front of the Padawan tier. It looks like I am missing a file, so let me update one real quick because we're missing Mr. Qui-Gon, and he's not on my list apparently. So let me download Qui-Gon so I can add him to this list, and we'll go from there. So sorry about that, guys. But anyways, Qui-Gon Jinn, he is a cunning heroism unit. On his leader side, it says action, use the force, return a friendly non-leader unit to his owner's hand, play a non-villainy unit that costs the same or less than the return unit from your hand for free. And it says epic action, he deploys it on 6. He is a 4/7 with traits Force, Jedi, Republic. It says when this unit completes an attack, you may return a friendly non-leader unit to its owner's hand, play a non-villainy unit that costs less than the return unit from your hand for free. So again, just allows you to bounce one of your cards back and play another card that costs the same from your hand for free. So if you have something that's about to die, you can play it and play something else, or play the exact same card, and it'll live. And you can play it. Now, obviously, you probably want to play something that could probably give something that has ambush. You can take out a threat. I know people have been brewing a Qui-Gon deck that could do so much, like cheat out a big unit so early. I actually haven't played any Qui-Gon decks lately at all, period. Not one. And I know a lot of people are theory crafting it. I think the Qui-Gon, his ability, it sounds cool, but I don't think it's that great in a more competitive environment, right? Can it win a local? Sure, 100% think he can. Can it win a showdown? That's where I'm thinking, right? Can it potentially win a showdown? Maybe. Right, for sure, I can't see Qui-Gon winning a small PQ or a large PQ. So because of that, he's teetering between that Padawan tier and maybe Jedi Knight tier. But when I look at Jedi Knight, look who's at the very end, Kit Fisto. I think Kit Fisto's a lot better than Qui-Gon. So I'm going to put Qui-Gon in the Padawan tier. Like, you can take him to a local, you might win. I don't think outside of a local. I do think he's better than Cal Kestis and better than Maul, so he's in the lead there, right? All right, next up, we got Final 2. We have Darth Revan. The one card that I was super excited to hear. Like, I guessed Darth Revan, y'all, when they announced Legends of the Force. I was like, I put it in red. I was like, I hope we get a Darth Revan, and we got one. But boy, was I sad when I saw this card. Darth Revan is just a villainy leader, excuse me. And his leader sides, when a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, give an experience token to that friendly unit. Darth Revan deploys at 5 resources. He is a 3/6. He has Force and Sith traits. He has Restore 1, and this is when a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may give an experience token to that friendly unit. So I'll tell you this, I do like the Restore 1 on Revan. That's pretty good. You don't typically see that on Villainy. And the ability and the fact that you can get an experience token on him for killing something, I think that's pretty good. But what sucks about Revan is that you're going to be locked to a single aspect. Because right now, that gives you the ability to play Villainy, which is black, and whatever your base is, right? And I think that really limits what you can do. Sure, you might run some Sentinels that can probably swing in at something. Maybe you want something that has shields that can kill something. and then it gets buff, and then makes it stronger. Then he can kill something else, and it keeps getting stronger. I think Revan is pretty decent. I've actually played a couple Revan decks. They did pretty decently against some of the decks I played, but I think I may have only lost one time to Revan, and I think it was more of a play mistake on my side. Can you build a Revan deck that will win you a local store event? 100% he will. Can you win a showdown? I think you can win a showdown with Revan. Can you win a PQ? Maybe a small one, right? Maybe like, when I mean small, like sub 50, and then big is above 50. Above a 50 PQ, I don't think Revan's strong enough. I think there's too many, even the old leaders from the set 4, if you modified them with set 5 cards, I think they can beat Revan for sure. Because of that, I'm going to put Revan right at the end of Jedi Knight tier. He's teetering. He could be Padawan tier. And then we'll move on now to Anakin. He is the heroism leader. He is a leader side. It says, use the Force, play a villain non-unit card from your hand, ignoring its aspect penalties. On his leader side, it says, use the Force, play a villainy non-unit card from your hand, ignoring its aspects and penalty. So you do get a discount for playing. You don't have to pay the aspect penalty for the non-unit cards from your hand. So that really limits you to a couple things with Anakin. You're mostly playing villainy events, villainy upgrades, right? It says non-unit, right? And then, so that kind of limits you to what you can play. Now, also limits you, just like Darth Revan, you're really locked into white and whatever aspects you pick. Now, there are some pretty good cards. If you go blue, for example, you can play some of the blue events, right? The new Anakin card, the legendary, that he's a 5/7, and if you have a villainy card in your discard pile and then a heroism card in your discard pile, you could do -3, -3, and -3, -3 to a unit. So you could give one unit -6, -6. That's probably gonna kill most units in the game at that resource cost. Now the only downside though is you have to. I think in order to use that new Anakin leader effectively, or unit, excuse me, you're gonna have to play new Anakin. But the new Anakin unit is also pretty good in Kira Dataville, because -3, -3 is just good. And then you can use another unit to swing into it and kill it. So I think, because again, you're locked in, I think he's in the same level as Revan. I think you can win a showdown and a local. Outside of that, I don't think so. But now I'm going to look and revise this list, right? I really want to drop these heroes down some. I think Ket Fisto is way better than these two guys. And I'm going to move Kanan Jarrus to 3rd place, because I think Ket Fisto's better. I think I'm going to move, we're going to move Anakin and Revan out of here. I think they can win you a local, not much more. I'm going to remove Avar Crest. We're dropping her down completely. She's too expensive. She can die very quickly, especially if she's your only card out there, Power to the Dark Side. I think this is more like it. So let's recap. At the top tier, the Master Jedi tier, we have Mother Talzin and Obi-Wan. So I'm actually going to put Obi-Wan slight ahead of Mother Talzin. I think Obi-Wan is, of all the new leaders, is definitely the best. His ability to allow to give somebody an experience token that doesn't have it and you get to choose is extremely powerful. And Mother Talzin's, her ability to give something -1/-1 is like a very small, like essentially event card. Think of it like to potentially kill anything weak. And I think those are very, very solid cards. Obi-Wan has a slightly less defense than Mother Talzin, but I think the fact you give experience tokens to something is very good. So of all of the leaders for this upcoming set, Obi-Wan and Mother Talzin, I have him in the Master Jedi tier, which is tier S, and I think we're gonna see people actually do well with these two leaders. The next tier is the Jedi Knight tier. These are the leaders that I think you can take to PQs and a big PQ and potentially win something with it, right? We've seen the new Kylo Ren. We've seen how the new deck is working. You're gonna really go hard control and just keep pitching pitching your upgrades away and drawing cards until you get Shadowed Intentions in the graveyard. Shadowed Intentions is a yellow upgrade, so you do have to pay the penalty cost. So it's a 3, but with the penalty cost it's 5. So if you want to equip him with a couple of lightsabers, you have to have enough resources to control your opponent, whatever unit they play, deploy Kylo, and then put all the upgrades on him. Then he's gonna kill you in like 2 attacks, and you can't do anything about it. You only need to have a unit. But the hard part is that you got to get there, right? So any aggro or very gold wide decks completely wreck Kylo. And that's why I think he can only stay at maybe at a PQ level. I can't see Kylo winning at any higher level, like a galactic qualifier or a sector qualifier or regional. I think he's going to be, I've seen him. That's one of the decks I'm going to be building next. I'm kind of practicing right now Kira Data Vault. I'm actually going to do a deck tech on Kylo just to kind of talk about him because I like the idea of it, but I guarantee you Kylo gets destroyed by Vader space. Vader is so powerful. Like, sure, you just won't be able to do it. He's too powerful. In most Kylo decks, you're going Kylo Data Vault because you need that extra high up. You're going to go with like a Data Vault because you want that extra health. You got those extra cards, but more upgrades so that you can pitch it. But you're going to run you're going pretty much control until you can deploy Kylo and win in 2 rounds. I think he's going to be in that PQ level type hero. Kit Fisto, again, I think his ability is very solid when you attack on the leader side. You can do 2 damage to it. It's like a soft control. Think of a Daring Raid. You can probably pull that almost every single time off, and it'll slowly pick off some of your stronger units. And if he somehow has another event that finishes something off, he's very powerful. On his flip turn, I don't think he's that strong because it requires that you have to have other Jedis on the field for him to get the plus attack. I think that is a little bit of a liability, but he does have Saboteur, so if there's a Sentinel, he has a lightsaber, and you have a pump spell to finish out the game to hit the base. That's pretty good. I do think Kit Fisto can win. Will win a local. Will win a showdown. And he can even win a PQ. I think I've seen enough people playing some Kit Fisto that I think he's a solid leader. Is he going to be meta defining? I don't think so. Oh, there's Prime. Kit is it. Yeah. So Kit Fisto, I think I'm going to put him in that Jedi Knight tier. I think he's good. I can't put him in that Master Jedi because I can't see him winning a large event. I can see him winning PQs. I can't see anything higher than PQ. Can't see sectors, regionals, or galactic. I just can't see it. And then we got Kanan Jarrus. He's a very interesting hero because he essentially allows you to play with Beast or Spectre units. And I think we have enough Spectre cards out that he can have a good synergy with. And then we have new creatures in this set that, again, also synergize well with him. He's a decently statted leader on his deploy. He's a little expensive at 6 resources, but for a 3/6 shielded, it's actually pretty good in my opinion. And then when you have a creature, a Spectre, he gets buffed by 2, so he's really more of a 5/6. I think that's pretty good. I wish he had 1 more defense personally, but I guess that's why they have that shield on him. I think we're gonna see some people play some interesting decks with Kanan. Plus, I actually really want to see the Kanan showcase because this scene from Rebels is freaking dope. And I hope they do him justice. But Again, I think Kit Fisto it's really ahead of Kanan Jarrus. Like if I could do like this tier, we had A, B, C, D, E. I would put Kylo and Kit like A and B. They're tied to me, and then Kanan would be like D, right? There's no one C there. He's not that close. But Kanan, I do think is better than Revan, Anakin, and all of them. Like they're all right. So this is what we're looking at. So if you're going to be, I think if you're getting ready for this upcoming meta and you don't want to play the old heroes, I would suggest probably look at Obi-Wan, look at Mother Talzin. All right. If you don't like the play styles, look at Kylo. Kylo's going to be very controlly. I'm telling y'all that right now. And then Kit Fisto. I would say these would be the 4 heroes I would say kind of look at and start playing. Kanan is just on the outside. If you have nothing else and you really like Spectres, then go Kanan. I think you'll have fun. But outside of this, guys, I can't see any other leaders that you would want to play around for this set. Sure, if you want to take something for your locals, go for it. You could take any of the guys in the Padawan tier and you're probably going to do fine. You could probably potentially win it. But if you're going to be competitive, like you want to win a showdown and get some cool, you got to get out of this tier, Padawan tier. You got to look at that. And then, right, we got to compare these guys compared to the existing meta heroes or meta leaders. And some of these might not keep up to what we have right now with the Quinlans, the Data Kiras, the Sabines. Those are gonna that will change this list, right? Daring Raid on the stick, yeah. I like Kit Fisto's ability on his leader side. It is straight up daring Raid. You will always. I think you could potentially almost get, if you attack with the Force, you can do 2 damage off almost every time. That's extremely powerful. On his leader side, it's not that great, but hey, no one can be perfect. Otherwise, he'll be busted. Now, like I said, that's what we have tonight, y'all. If you agree with this ranking, let me know in the comments. If you think I'm crazy, just say, "Man, you crazy." If you don't think so, if you're saying I'm wrong, I would love to hear your opinion. Let's see. Prime says he's building Ahsoka, Kit, and Cal. You know, Prime, you might have missed it, but man, I think Ahsoka is bad. Like giving something Sentinel, I don't think is good at all. Like we've seen it with the old Grievous, and I just don't think it's that good. It might slow you, it might save you, but I don't think it's good. Cal Cactus is actually not too. I don't think it's a bad leader. I think he can maybe spike a local for sure. Can he spike a showdown? Maybe. Outside of that, I just can't see it, man. His ability to exhaust stuff is good, but like to me, that's just delaying your death. Really, like okay, you exhaust my unit, I'm gonna kill you next time. It's all good, right? So that's why I can't see Cal Kestis being that much better. Like if I wanted to play a 4-cost aggro leader on hero, why won't you just play Sabine? Like Sabine's is better, like every way around. So I just can't see Cal being that good. But all right, guys, let me switch over here. Remember, guys, we are having we're doing a giveaway for this upcoming. So I'm trying to hit a milestone within YouTube. And it's just a watch hours, and we're very close. I might even get it this month, but I should have it for next month. And whoever wins, we're gonna be giving away this card. This is the Obi-Wan promo from Sector Qualifiers, okay? And all you have to do to win this card is be a subscriber. And when I hit that milestone, one of my lives, we will spin a wheel and see who wins it. And if you win, I will message you and I'll mail this card out to you for free. That's it. You can win this card. So if you know anyone, send them my way and have them subscribe and have them watch my videos. That's all going to help me get to that milestone. And guess what, guys? This set Legends of the Force that's about to come out in a few weeks is all about Force. And don't you want to have this card blinged out? And if you do, this is the card. This is the one of the cards you want to have to bling out. And even if you don't want to bling it out, you want to get it graded because he just looks dope, I'll say, yeah, man, go get it graded. It's going to look awesome and put it in your collection. But that is what's on the line. Whoever wins, I'm going to do it live on the stream. We're going to spin that wheel, and a subscriber is going to win that card. So if you want it, and you're already here, you're subscribed. Congrats. You're going to be entered, right? But if you know anybody else, anyone at your locals, when you go to the locals, say, hey, TCJHQ is doing a dope giveaway. He's going to give out the Obi-Wan Kenobi Sector Qualifier promo. All you have to do is subscribe and watch my videos. That's it. And you're going to have a chance to win. But anyways, guys, that's the stream for tonight. We're going to have another stream on Thursday. I'm thinking about potentially looking at we're going to start looking at up until the next, till the set drops. We're going to look at the commons and uncommons for each aspects and then kind of rank them on what do we think if they're good or bad. I'm not even going to put tiers on that one, like good, or it's either good, bad. That's it. And then once we do all the aspects, then I'm going to be coming out with a video that we're going to be talking about what are the top 15, 20 cards in Legends of the Force that you need to have, right? And that's going to range from commons all the way up to the legendaries. And like I said, that's going to be cool. And then I'm working on a pre-release guide right now for the pre-release that's coming out. I think 2 weeks. Pre-release is in 2 weeks or in 3, to kind of give you an idea of who should you be looking for, what cards you want to be looking for, and what units you want to be looking for. So stay tuned for that. All of that's coming up. We have some exciting stuff on the way. And also, let me thank y'all for all y'all's time. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good night. May the Force be with you. Peace.